Hey Catholic Match, my name is Sarah. Welcome back. If you are new here, I talk all things dating and relationships, and for the past couple of years, we've gone over a lot of different topics. But today, I wanted to touch on something that I've been thinking a lot about, and it all started when I remembered that this girl that was in my chemistry class. We were in chemistry class together, and I really admired her. I thought she was so smart, and she always knew the right answers, and I was a grade A student. I really enjoyed getting good grades. I enjoyed sitting in the front of class. I enjoyed studying and taking notes and using my highlighters. I was that type of a student. And I really admired her because she was like a step above and she challenged me in class. And I will never forget, one of the things she said in chemistry was, when I'm studying, I'm not learning this information to pass the test. I'm learning this information because I want to know this information. And it kind of struck me because I'd never heard anybody talk about education that way. I think a lot of my education was learning and memorizing and then saying it back and repeating it back for a test and passing that test and having that A mean something to be, part of who I am. And so it really shaped my education when she said this to me, and it changed the way that I learned. It changed the way that I paid attention in class. It changed the way I studied. It even changed what I pursued of education. I went a different route than I thought I was going to in high school when I got to college because it slowly just kind of changed how I saw how I learn and what I learn. And even though a lot of my education career was marked by tests and exams and finals, which are all really stressful at times and, little, bumps or bruises at others, I always thought about that, and I still do today, of even being a Catholic. And I am a convert, being a convert, of learning about the faith. I'm not necessarily learning about the faith so I can simply repeat it to others who ask me about why I'm a Catholic. I'm not learning about the faith so I can repeat it to my kids when they ask why we go to Mass on Sundays. I'm learning about the faith because I want it ingrained in my heart and in my soul why I am Catholic and what we do. And I'm learning it in education because I want to know it, not because I want to pass the test. And so it kind of got me thinking about pursuing virtue as a human being in this world, and especially one that's pursuing relationships with other people, pursuing a romantic relationship with someone else, that I want to be this person, right, that's like so good and attractive to someone else. I want to be this person that really steals someone else's attention and steals someone else's eye. I want to be pursued. I want to be a person that's being worthy of pursued by someone else on this earth. And there's a lot of effort that goes into that. I think under this kind of thinking, it can be really easy to fall into, I can kind of fake it till I make it. I can put on this performance and I can perform, and all that's going to need to happen is I'm just going to need to find a spouse. I can, go through the steps and go through the motions and kind of just study to pass the test. I can pursue virtue or try and be a better person in my life just to get a husband or just to be in a relationship that's long term. And I really feel like that's missing the point. And I think it's something that we can fall into, and it's why I'm bringing it up today. I think that we need to ask ourselves why we're pursuing what we're pursuing. Are we pursuing all of these different things? Are we working out religiously because we want a healthy body or because we want to be skinny for a cute guy that we saw? Are we going to Mass all the time because we desire to be at Mass and increase our relationship with God? Or are we going strictly to just maybe catch someone's eye? How are we pursuing virtue with our intent? What is our intent behind why we're pursuing virtue? I think it's an important question to ask ourselves, because your why is a really good reason of why, but also a good reason to keep going when things get hard. If like, what? I don't really feel like praying today. I don't really feel like going to Mass this Sunday. I don't really feel like praying the rosary, or I don't even feel like being kind to this other person. But I know that these things affect my soul in an existential way. And I know that I just want to, regardless of how my life works out, regardless of what relationship I'm in, when I become in a serious relationship, when I get married, become a wife, become a mother, whatever have you, that I just want to pursue virtue as is. I want it to be for my heart and my soul before anyone else's. And I think I think it's an important thing to just bring up and maybe to take a moment to self-reflect on, we're pursuing these things. Are we pursuing them for the right reasons? Or is it just kind of a rat race? Because I'll tell you what, when you learn something constantly just to pass the test, you don't really retain it. And the tests really start to wear you down. You start to feel really heavy and you have a really big chance of getting burnt out. So I feel like when we're pursuing different things to try and make ourselves better, to try and make ourselves more attractive, to try and make ourselves more pursuable, we can risk burning out of like, I give up. It's just not working. No one's coming to me. No one's noticing me. No one's looking at me. I am not going on any second date or any third date or any first date. This isn't working and I'm just going to give up. We don't want to reach that point. No one wants to achieve burnout. That's not fun. Yeah, it's not fun. It's heavy on the heart. And I think we were meant to just internalize these things for the betterment of ourselves. So that's my reminder for today. My little reminder is asking yourself, if you are in a period right now where you are dating and you are really pursuing yourself and trying to establish new habits in your life and pursue change. I heard someone say one time, it was a really holy woman, and she said, I don't want to ever say about anything about myself, it's just how I am. You know, I'm like, oh, she's so stubborn. It's just how I am. Oh, she gets so angry, you know, yada, yada, yada. Oh, well, that's just how I am. Or, you know, she's really lazy. Like she doesn't mean yes when she says yes and doesn't mean no when she says no. Like you can never take her for her word. She's super flaky, you know, just the way I am. She didn't want to ever say that about herself. She said that. And that makes me think about this too, this whole topic, I guess, of like, there are different things that we can look at about ourselves, and it may be how we've been for a really long time. And it may be how we've been raised to be. Maybe it's the only example that we have to even go off of. But we are not called to just kind of shrug our shoulders and say, it's just how I am. We're called to, you know, go further up and further in, right? So let me know where you're at. Let me know if this resonates with you at all. It's just kind of been on my heart lately to talk about, and I can dive way more into it too. So let me know in the comments what you feel about that. But in the meantime, please follow us here on YouTube at CatholicMatch. And then I'm also over on Instagram and we hang out there a lot too. And that's at CatholicMatch as well. If you are not subscribed, subscribe. I come out with content every month and I'm not the only person. We have an excellent team talking about tons of different topics. And if you ever have any suggestions, we read the comments. So feel free to leave them down in the comments. In the meantime, I will see you in the next video. See you at Catholic Match.